It's something I've done for 10 years and above, trying to support people on social and behavioral change. Of interest today is the smoking cessation, and I'll be here today to guide you through this journey. Let's get started. So I'm going to go to my slide that I've prepared just for this session. And as you can see on my screen, this slide says Module 1. So this is Module 1 of 5 modules that I've developed to guide you through the journey of quitting smoking or helping someone to quit smoking. So first, I'll say the first module is understanding tobacco use and addiction. So, of course, this is part of our efforts to support smoking cessation among people. You agree with me that people do not just smoke, they smoke for some reasons, right? So, from our experience, we've discovered that people smoke um, because of biological factors. So biological factors, I mean, how your body responds to smoking makes people want to smoke again. So this will be discussed in details in the other slides. And another thing is psychological factors. So a number of persons will smoke because of stress, because they want to relieve themselves of stress, or they perceive that smoking would help them to relieve stress. Other people smoke because of boredom. You agree with me that this is a common issue around smokers as well. And of course, it has become an habit for some persons. So they continually smoke because it is now part of their habit. And of course, uh, social factors, including peer influence or peer pressure, you might want to call it, is also part of the reason why some persons smoke. From our research, from our interaction with persons that are attending this session or that are smokers themselves, we've been able to understand that a lot of time, why they are not in company of some persons, they could go without smoking. But once they have the opportunity of being with that same persons, smoking becomes a very difficult thing for them. Um, and of course, cultural norms. So there are cultures that made it difficult for people to socialize without having to smoke. Of course, the menace of continual advertisement of smoke, of cigarettes, it's adding more to the pressure that people have to face. So people get to see, how the adverts is being placed in front of them, right in front of them, and this also influence how they do smoke. So situational triggers is also one of them. Some persons are used to, taking cigarette after eating, or maybe feeling some ways that they feel cigarettes would help them to take care of. So they take this after meal. Others take at social events. So this is interwoven with peer influence where you are in the midst of people, or even morning routine or bedtime routine for some persons. So if we have people that smoking has become part of their routine, it kind of triggers how they smoke. Now, this particular slides smokers will tell you, most smokers will tell you that they did not start to become addicted. They take a moment to reflect. Let's take a moment to reflect on, how you or someone start smoking. You agree with me that common reasons include peer pressure, like we have discussed, um, relief of stress, like some smokers are perceived, even out of curiosity. Some persons became smokers out of curiosity, wanting to have a feel of what smokers do feel, and that's leads to it, or even family influence in some ways. So most of the time, it often starts as a social or emotional habit before turning into addiction. And of course, when you start as a social smoker, maybe because of curiosity, maybe because of family influence or peer pressure, or for any reason that a lot of smokers might have, um, nicotine from that cigarette stimulates the brain to release dopamine. And dopamine is a pleasure hormone that is called. So it makes you feel happy, it makes you feel different, you make you feel fulfilled. So there's this sense of fulfillment that comes with you smoking, that you might want to that might make somebody want to come back again. So this cycle of pleasure, craving, withdrawal, and then repeat smoking creates a cycle of dependence, whereby a lot of smokers would have to go through all of this cycle. Taking it for a while, they get the pleasure, and after a while, it is out of their system. So they crave for more. They want to have a feeling of what they just felt. And when they do stop, there's a withdrawal symptoms that comes in too. So they want to repeat again. So over time, the brain become adjusted to requiring more nicotine for the same effect. More nicotine for the same effect. Meaning that after a while, if only just one stick of cigarette is what the brain is used to taking, it becomes addicted to it, that it wants more than just one to fulfill the smoker's intention, the smoker's emotions of maybe feeling happy or wanting to take more. So that is one of the things they do feel. And of course, the next is this cycle of nicotine addiction, just like I've explained now. So in 10 seconds of smoking, of course, it gets to the bloodstream, and before you know it, there's release of dopamine that gives that pleasure and relaxation feeling. And of course, there's also cravings that follow it, and there's withdrawal that a lot of persons feel just when they don't have it. They feel anxious, they feel irritable and restless in some cases. Now, why do we really need to talk about quitting cigarettes? So this is why. The fact that it has some health challenges that comes as a result of smoking, that we can itemize in this. And so in the short time, persons that smoke would have increased heart rate. Now, this nicotine in the cigarette itself has a way of stimulating the heart, to beat faster than normal, and then that increases the heart rate. And another way that it affects us in the short time is the fact that just after smoking, a lot of smokers would not be able to talk to someone without having that bad breath, that breath of cigarette around them. In fact, it goes beyond just bad breath. Even their body odor it oozes out like a bad odor from them, and that's makes them so to be isolated from people. So beyond being health challenge, it makes them socially isolated from other persons. One of the people we support mentioned something around when he's a Muslim. So when he's about to go into mosque, he has to use perfume just to mask the body odor that comes. However, he's not able to mask the bad breath that comes with it. So most of the time, you find them not wanting to talk to someone just because of the feeling that you might just feel the bad breath. So so this is one of the things that happens. And of course, another thing that happens is reduced lung function. So beyond having bad breath, beyond having increased heart rate, they also suffer reduced lung function, meaning that the lungs that is meant to take oxygenated blood from outside take it into the bloodstream and take deoxygenated blood out. So inspiration and expiration of air to allow the functionality of the system is also reduced, is also compromised among smokers. This might be an issue going forward. And of course, in the long time, some persons might have COPD, could have heart disease, and could have even lung cancer as a result of smoking. And the worst case is the second-hand smokers. Second-hand smokers would mean people that are not active smoker but passively smoke, meaning that you stay around people that smoke, maybe within the same, under the same vicinity, not very far from them. When they smoke, you are also at risk. So that makes them also prone to all of the consequences that the smokers also face, including arteries and then cancer. Now, a lot of time there are myths that we've been told. We've been told a lot of myths about quitting smoking. Um, One of those that you would have heard is quitting cold turkey is the only way to succeed. Now, cold turkey is just one of those ways of strategies of quitting smoking when a smoker just abruptly decides to quit smoking. Now, this might not be the best thing to do. However, in the next module, you get to see, the other strategies that are useful for you. Don't forget, if you want to keep tab with this channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe so that you could get more of these sessions. I told you earlier we have 5 modules to still cover. And in addition to these 5 modules, we have a lot of other videos that we've done in the past that you might want to go through. Don't forget, also share with some friends that might need this information. So myths. Another myth that is commonly mentioned is behavioral support medication double success rate. Sorry, I think that's a fact. So I'm talking about cold turkey. So cold turkey is abrupt withdrawal from smoking. A lot of time it is unsuccessful, but the fact that must be held tightly is the fact that when you have, counseling, when you have behavioral support, when you have sessions like we are having right now, information session, awareness session, and support system, a good support group, with medication, the success rate actually doubles, meaning that if a lot of people that go through all of these uh, approaches, if they have 50% success rate, with these two combination of approaches, will have 100% in that case. Another myth is that vaping is safe alternatives to smoking. A lot of person have looked for alternative to say that it is a lesser evil to do vaping. A lot of if you don't know vaping is like an electronic cigarette where you could also, without having to to light your cigarette, you just sip it and then you come out with the smoke like like cigarette as well. So some persons have adopted vaping as a way of trying to to seek a lesser evil. But the fact remains that even this vaping, the e-cigarettes, still contain harmful chemicals that are also not good for our system, with also similar consequences as smoking cigarette as well. So now, um, for those that are attempting to quit smoking, okay, this is what happens to your body. Maybe this might motivate you to want to continue your journey. So, if you stop smoking within 20 minutes of stopping smoking, your heart rate normalizes, meaning that if you have increased heart rate, if you have increased heart rate and you just stop smoking, you smoke in the next 20 minutes, it normalizes. And this, I want to say that you could now imagine what it would be like if you have 24 hours without smoking, meaning that your heart rate will be normal for 24-hour period. Now, in 24 hours, additional effect you would feel is that the carbon monoxide level drops Carbon monoxide is a poisonous part of the cigarette that you smoke. Very poisonous in the sense that it could also it could even help. It could make one to lose breath. It could make one to have a respiratory collapse, and then the person will just cease breathing. And some cases, it could even lead to death. This is one of the things that kill people that smoke in a very enclosed environment without having proper ventilation. So this level that is settled in the lungs of these smokers, and in 24 hours it drops as well. After 1 year of stopping smoking, uh, the heart rate reduces, the heart disease risk reduces by half. It means that if the risk was 20% before, for anybody that's smoking for 1 year, the risk reduced by by half, meaning that it goes to 10%. What this means really is the fact that for you as a person, the risk of having hypertension, having heart attack, having stroke reduces by 50%. So when you smoke, it means your risk doubles. And if you're able to stop for 1 year, this is what you'll be able to enjoy. I want to believe that this could motivate someone to continue to make attempt and to sustain the attempt at quitting smoking. Now, if after 10 years you are able to stop smoking, your lung cancer risk drops significantly. So, meaning that the risk of you becoming cancerous, having lung cancer in the future, drops so significantly. I want to believe this would help you to quit smoking. Now, the next step is smoking cessation. Um, Maybe you might want to take a minute to reflect, and identify your own personal trigger. We mentioned what triggers it for a lot of persons, but then let me just put it down somewhere. What are my personal smoking triggers? For some persons, they've said, oh, when they're with peers, they get to smoke. When they are stressed, they get to smoke. Maybe after meal, they get to smoke. When they are in the midst of in a social event where others are smoking, they are tempted to also want to smoke. So identify all of your own personal smoking triggers. That is one thing I would like you to do first. The second thing will be to choose a quitting method. Now, you remember I mentioned cold turkey the other time, and I mentioned to you that in subsequent videos you get to see other strategies. Now, so maybe you should pen this for the next video that you'll be watching us. However, there are two approach that is very common: the gradual reduction. Apart from the cold turkey that is abrupt, that I mentioned that is not advisable, the gradual reduction in the sense that if one person smokes 20 sticks in a day, you could decide that, okay, yes, I want to reduce it to 15. After some time, I reduce it to 10. And then after some time, I reduce it to 5, to 3, to 2, to 1, and then to 0. By this, the risk of having relapse is very, very slim. And then risk of having withdrawal symptoms is also very slim. So another method is to do nicotine replacement. So there are a lot of nicotine replacement strategy that we'll be talking about as we proceed as well. Um, Another thing that is very important is to seek support for motivation and guidance. Now, I and my partner run a particular we run a particular smoking quit smoking hub. We call it the Quitters Hub. This particular one is on WhatsApp currently. So we have that support group where people get motivated. We have series of programs every day. On a Monday, for example, today is Monday, so we have what we call the Motivational Monday, and people get to we get to tell them something that would motivate them to quit smoking. And we just ask some questions around, how they are struggling or what they think is the best thing that they have done in the last 1 week for themselves. So this we do on that particular support group. If you're interested in joining the support group, I'll drop a link to the WhatsApp group in the comment section. But please don't forget to like, comment, and share, and also subscribe to this channel for more of these tips. Then the last thing that will be the next step is to prepare for withdrawal with coping strategies. So even when you have successfully, done the gradual reduction strategy, and you're off the cigarette smoking, one must also um, prepare for withdrawal strategies, prepare for withdrawal with coping strategies. So some persons have identified that one of those interactions we had with people, it was amazing to hear that there are even local ways that people try to cope with withdrawal now, with nicotine withdrawal. Now, one of those coping strategies that we've identified, some persons mentioned how they get to chew to use um, cassia tree. Cassia tree is something that is common in the north. So you use cassia tree without even taking off the back like a chewing stick. And it has helped them to reduce the number of time they crave for smoking. Or even when they crave and they then get to chew this, it has helped them to reduce the relapse rate for them. And some other persons have talked about taking water. Some other persons have used distraction method. So I would also want you to put in the comment section what strategy has worked for you, if you want to share with us. And by this, I would say we've been able to cover the session. And of course, because we've covered the session, I would like you to share with us. I would like you to share with us what worked for you and how you are coping um, with this. Basically, I would say that this session is our first session, and I look forward to seeing you again in subsequent session. But don't forget, we can interact in the chat box. Send your comments in, and I will be here to give response to all your comments. Without having to waste your time, I'll see you again in my next video. But please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this to those that might be in need of this. Do have a great day.